I'm sure it's not his girlfriend now. Jacked. He freaking gets up there, you know, and he's confident, and his girlfriend's, oh, and I mean, I smack him. Boom. And mid yell, she's like, come on. Oh. And I just felt so bad, bro. I don't know if y'all have seen who I've been beating lately, you know, but this guy.
The same guy.
Yeah. And he waxes me 3-0.
All right, Justin, here we are at your house after your practice. How do you feel? So you have like 5 weeks left until Mindaugas, a little bit.
Yeah, give or take.
How do you feel about it as of right now?
I feel pretty good. You know, that was a good practice. I feel good. I've been feeling really good in the gym. My numbers are, you know, back where they were and rising. Like percentage-wise, they're rising at larger percentages than they have in the past. So my weight's good. My biggest concern was the health of my elbow, and today was today was a pretty good day. So yeah, I feel pretty good. I don't think it's going to go well for him. You know, I'll leave it at that, even though I'm a biche, as he says. Learn how to, you know, if you got to insult somebody, learn how to say it properly, you know.
Oh, come on. You don't want to give him a little accent discount?
No.
Okay.
Not after what you calling me that. I mean, I don't like that word, and I don't like boy. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, can you tell me how do you feel about the match in general? Because it's like your first big match in a while. So how did that come about?
I mean, I've been watching the series, you know, and since I started arm wrestling, I've basically arm wrestled on every big stage, and this is one of the newer ones that I haven't arm wrestled on, and it's international competition, which is, you know, something I like to do, and we haven't been doing that well. You know, I felt
as a nation.
Yeah, as a nation, and you know, I felt obligated to, like, you know, and that's not even me saying, oh, I'm much better or whatever, but I feel obligated to step in and give it my effort, you know, win or lose. I can't sit on the sideline, you know, and you know, Egan asked me before, and I told him, you know, I was still kind of on the fence about my elbow condition, so. But when he offered me this match, it was enough time to, you know, I felt like to get in good shape and good health. So, and you know, never been to Turkey, so let's go to Turkey. And you know, when he gave me this match, though, I was like, man, so you know, a guy roughly around my weight, you know, or lighter actually. So I was like, all right, you know, it's not like I gotta beef up and worry about strength as much. I don't feel like it'll be more conditioning and, you know, the kind of training. And usually when I have to make a certain weight, I'm more obsessed with what I'm doing, so I train harder. You know, the first week or two I did 2-a-days, you know, go in the morning and I'd go in the evening, and you know, I make time for things. I constantly watch what I'm eating, you know.
So you're taking it seriously?
Yeah, I take it a little more seriously, because it's not just arm wrestling. Now it's making weight. It's, you know, plus arm wrestling. So anybody who's ever made weight knows that's just, it sucks. You got to stay on top of it. But I don't know. As far as my opponent, I mean, he's a good arm wrestler, all around great arm wrestler. I think I'm stronger than him. I think the only thing, I don't think he has anything particular he does better than me.
What do you think about his comment that you're not fast?
I think he's probably half blind. You know?
He hasn't done enough research?
Yeah, you know, I mean, what is your definition of fast? You're definitely not fast. I'm faster than you. Okay? I've watched a lot of your matches. I've seen very few where you got the hit. So, you know, the good thing for you is you're used to not getting a hit, so you got that going for you. Because I'm getting a go on you, buddy. You're not. You're going this way on go. So, you know, and I know a lot of the Europeans are fast. So, you know, he deals with guys who are fast pretty often.
Right.
You know, but I'm not fast one direction. I'm fast in many different directions. And you know, I can pull a European style of arm wrestle. You know, and I can pull an American style. It's just all depend on, you know, what you want to, where you want to go.
Where you want to go and how much is the paycheck?
Right. That's always the question.
Yeah. Where would you rank yourself in the world if you win this match? Where do you think your placement stands?
And what division? What, 76?
For 85, let's say, or whatever that is. Where are you thinking at if the
I
match
don't know.
goes your way?
I mean, the only person I've seen lately really competing with Mindaugas is Daniel. You know, just beating him consistently.
Right.
Daniel's,
So you will think if you beat Mindaugas, do you want to pull Daniel next?
yes. That's who I was hoping I was going to get.
Okay.
I think stylistically it's a better match for me. You know, when he pulled.
Mindaugas is going to be harder for the outside?
Well, I think Mindaugas has different, he can go different places other than just one move. I think Daniel has one move. You know, and that's not to say he's not technical, because you have different ways of getting there.
For sure, yeah, he can adjust in that style.
Yeah, but you basically have to worry about somebody trying to come inside.
Right.
You know, I think Mindaugas has a decent post and top roll. I think his money move is his low hand top roll. And you know, he can pull with his wrist back a little. You know, I've seen him do that. But I do all that. So, you know, I've seen him pull in a hook when he's forced there. I don't think I've seen him yet go there willingly. I've done that. That's stuff I do with much bigger guys. You know, if I have my option, obviously, I'm just going to go outside. I'm going to take the easier route.
Have you ever been trash talked during the match while losing to a lighter guy? If this happens, how are you going to deal with it?
I mean, humbly.
Humbly?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not a douche, you know.
You're not going to go to Facebook the next day and say that it's all about, you know.
No, you earned that, bro. However you want to take this moment that you've earned, that's, you know, you earned that moment. However you want to handle it, whether I think it was handled well or not is irrelevant, you know. Now, social media and the arm wrestling world is going to have their opinion. I mean, I'm not one to do it. I do it at practice, you know, because, you know, we have, as you could tell, we have a lot of trash talkers.
Right, it's not practice, yeah.
But, you know, I have, when I pulled Kenny Hughes, and Kenny Hughes didn't even have a social media. Tom
Nelson.
Yeah, Tom Nelson was talking trash, and he was supposed to be there. So when I hit Kenny and I got him in a spot, and I knew he couldn't beat me, I looked around and I'm like, "Where are you at, Tom?" You know, and Kenny actually looked at me weird, like, "What are you talking about?" Because he didn't even know.
Right,
you know,
right.
It was really weird for him.
You made it awkward all the time.
Yeah, but you know, I think I've talked trash to Dan once.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I honestly kind of gotta like you.
Do you want to tell people about the one time you talked trash? Your mom had to break the beer bottle.
Nah, you know, that was more of a physical altercation than trash talking. But nah, I mean, in that situation, if that's what happens, you know.
All right, that's a fair and nice
You know,
answer. Yeah.
To you today, sir. You know.
Quick Facebook post the next day. It was not my day. Mindaugas
Yeah.
is stronger.
I mean, it's happened before. If you compete long enough, it's going to happen, especially at a high level, because these guys take it just as serious, if not more serious than you. So, you know, they have put in hours and hours for this moment. And
Yeah, speaking of moment and high level, and we talked about it earlier, but can you go back to the story? What was your first time you said you? That was the first time you flew
yeah,
for a tournament,
in 2013.
right?
Yeah,
And
for
it was your
UAO 4. Yeah, that was the first time I flew. I flew one time when I was like 10 to
That was your
Washington.
your almost first time on an
Yeah.
airplane as an adult.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
as
Okay.
an adult. Yeah.
How old were you?
20, was it 2013? I was 22,
Okay.
I think. 21, 22.
Okay, that's
Yeah. Well,
that's
I mean,
young adult.
I might have been 2013, and I was probably 23. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, it was, I hadn't had my second child, and I got 3 kids now, so.
A while ago.
Yeah,
Build a family by then.
it's been 9 years, almost, yeah. I'm 33, so yeah, I was 22, 23. Anyway.
So young adult, yeah, going over there.
Yeah, I was telling you about the first time I met those guys. I didn't even know who Giannis was. I knew, I had done a lot of homework.
That's the crazy thing. Who you thought was your top guy in the class?
It was Alan Fisher and Eduardo Diete. And to be fair, Eduardo won third, behind me and Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
But Alan didn't even make it to me. Luke Kent was there. He didn't make it to me. Like several guys from Ukraine, Canada. I mean, there was like 7 or 8 countries there at least. And see, that's something else too. Luke's always talking about, I'm 2-1 against you, but we've been in probably 10 different tournaments together, and I won all of them, except for the one he brings up.
Right. The
Yeah,
one.
you didn't make it to me. That's why we didn't arm wrestle, But anyway, that was the same thing that day. But yeah, I met Devin that day, and that's the only time Devin's ever bet on me. And Pushkar, I didn't get to speak to Pushkar. I wish I had. He was pissed off, and he didn't even pull the tournament.
Yes, he did. He did that. Yeah, because for those who watch doesn't know, the tournament got canceled originally.
Yeah.
The Robert put up that new one basically.
Yeah.
Pushkar was like.
They were supposed to pay out like $20,000.
Yeah, and Pushkar was not going for less.
Yeah. And I just went. I mean, I didn't have insurance on my ticket, so But I had been training for months for that tournament. I was in great shape. Weight cut went well. I was a little bit lighter then, so I didn't have to cut as much. But I remember sitting there, and I was talking to Matt Mass. First time I met him too. Todd, a lot of guys that was there. It was the first time I met them. Bob Brown. And I was sitting there talking to Matt Mask and Bob Brown at the weigh-ins, and Giannis walks in. And just to roll it back a couple months before that, half a year maybe, I pulled Vazgen for number 2 spot in America and got beat 3-0. Mm-hmm. I just pulled him all wrong. It wasn't my day.
Yeah, first arm wrestling.
Yeah, but he was probably one of the first higher level guys I arm wrestled. But anyway, so when Giannis walks in, I'm like, this guy. Bob Brown's like, everybody in your class is taking second to that guy. And I'm like, who? This guy? No. And I'm looking at him, and I'm, just kind of looking him over. I'm like, he's a couple inches shorter than me. I got to outweigh him, at least 8, 9 pounds. Mm-hmm. No way this cat's beat me. But I didn't say it out loud because I knew better. Because when I first met Vazgen, I was like,
yeah, there's no way this shorter me.
Yeah, I'm like, this guy's not beating me, bro. I don't know if y'all seen who I've been beating lately, but this guy.
This ain't the guy.
Yeah, and he waxes me 3-0. So, but, to this day, I still haven't pulled him again. But
didn't you beat him at one tournament? When you guys were in white T-shirts. Was that the tournament? I thought you did beat him once in a hook.
can't remember.
Yeah.
I feel like I would remember that. But I will tell you this. I remember watching the video a couple weeks after I got home, and Vazgen is. I don't think he's as bad now, but he was very anti-American arm wrestling. But he was giving Giannis, trying to. They're like, who's gonna win? Even though I just waxed him,
Right.
easy, boom, waxed him, foul, whatever, and he's like, Giannis win. And I'm like, bro, are you kidding me? I'd have been watching that and I'd have been like, no way Giannis is supposed to win. Like, he had nothing the first time. And to be fair, to this day, I still blame Harold Ryden because that was a pin. I don't care what he said. It was a pin. I watched his hand touch the pad, whatever.
So anyway, that was still so that was a great day for you still,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah,
you came there,
the most hype I've ever got was off of second place.
right, you came there thinking Alan Fisher is the guy.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, there's 7 more beasts. You have Eduardo Cheta in there. And shit.
Yeah.
And well, next thing you're pretty much taken. Well, I mean, you kind of won that tournament, right? Even though you took second, everybody likes it. We did.
Well, everybody, the guy I went to beat was Eduardo, and I smacked him. And I'm to this day I'm 2-0. I beat him at 65 and I beat him at 85. He was much stronger at 85. Let me tell you. Oh man! And even if you watch the match now, he never gets me past center, but it's because I was a smarter arm wrestler.
Right.
It wasn't because I was that much stronger. Because I went to load up with him, up top, and I go to, and usually I can feel the guy shake a little, and I'm like, all right, I got him. I got 30% more to go, and you're topped out. No, I go to shaking, and I'm like, oh. I just lean back in, and I'm like, all right, let's try this low hand thing I've been working on, because that was like 2014, and I'm like, and he cracks his own wrist. I'm like, okay, all right. Even though, I'll go sideways. I'm like, oh my God. Go side. I'm like, lat and side, same time. And it just starts going, and I'm like, oh, thank God.
Have to continue.
Yeah. I'm like, all right. That was probably my best day. That was UAL 8. That was at 85. Same kind of tournament, though. That was like 36, 37 guys.
Right.
Several countries. A lot of Canadian guys come down. A lot of, I think it was me and Dal Antonio in the finals. And a lot of people don't know this. The last guy to beat George at his weight was Dal Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
And I beat Dal Antonio like he wasn't even there. Like, I don't know if you've seen the video, but it was like, I mean, he was strong, especially outside of the strap. He was very strong. But he tried to attack probably my best weapon, and that's my containment. And it just didn't work out. But I wanted to arm wrestle Crazy George after that for a long time, and I just don't even care about it anymore. I've tried to set it up a couple times. Apparently, he's a weird dude.
I mean, his arthritis is way more developed than yours. I don't think you want it.
Yeah.
You have a couple of years of builders.
Yeah, I got a couple more years of arthritis. Yeah.
What do you think was your worst day at wrestling?
That's a hard one.
Right.
Probably the last couple of years. I went.
Well, you've told me about your worst day, but you still get good earlier, right? Pulling. Right. You said you didn't like that shape at all.
Yeah. Well, no, that was the worst I've ever felt before competing.
What do you think was like the miserable day when you came home was like? I'm figuring out.
There's one tournament I went to, and I pulled like 3 classes, and I didn't place. I think I got a third out of all of them. Yeah, it was just a terrible idea. But I walked.
Was it early on, or was it like?
No, it was like middle. I've been arm wrestling now 11, almost 12 years.
Okay.
It was middle of my career kind of thing. Now, the last one was when I went to that tournament. Where was it at? Georgia, where I pulled Worley. I pulled up a class because he was too fat to make the same weight. But I pulled up a class to pull him, and my thing with Worley the last couple times, because it's like 6-4. I'm up like 6. I won like 6 in a row, and then the last
I'll let
4.
you two decide. I've heard this conversation.
Well, anyway, I go there just to pull him, really.
Right.
And I mean, I don't even think I took off training that week. And I pulled his class and my class, and nobody was in my class really. Max ended up beating me. And
Oh, was it? It was in Alabama.
was it Alabama
It was
tournament?
Alabama that IFA qualified.
Something like it was in Cottonwood or something.
Cottonwood, Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah, Max happened to beat the left. Yeah.
And
Oh, it sounds like a bad day.
yeah.
Sorry, dog.
Well, what made it worse was Max was trying to hook me, or he was trying to top rope me, and and where I screwed up, I had to pull pretty close to where I just had a war with Dan, and I get right on the table, and I start loading up because I'm like, I've pulled Max 100 times. I'll just load up with him. He thinks we're gonna go outside. I just side him to the pad, more or less. I turn his pronator right off, and boom. Well, they say go and he gets the hit. So I'm like, all right. I sink him right in the hook, and I look at him, and I'm like, and I go, oh shit. And then he starts looking, because he felt it. He starts looking at me, and I'm like, it's kind of like what dude just asked. I'm like, what do you do? Bang it out. I'm like, you're gonna pin it. I'm not gonna lay it down. Not to you. Not to somebody I've beat 40 times. But in all due respect, I've beat him one time, and I'm sure it's not his girlfriend now. But I remember beating him one time, and he was jacked. He freaking gets up there, and he's confident, and his girlfriend's, and I mean, I smack him. Boom! And mid-yell, she's like, come on. Oh. And I just felt so bad, bro. I'm like...
You had to stop yelling.
Yeah, I'm like, well, but I've been there. That was his revenge. That's why he was so jacked about it, and I asked him if he wanted to pull a super match after that, but he never, I don't think he really wants that smoke, but he could prove me wrong. But I like Max. That was just a bad day for me because I don't think I placed either. No, I think I took second in my weight class, and I didn't place. Anyway, it's one of those. I should have won. My ego got in the way of me wanting to arm wrestle this guy, and I'm like, screw it. I'm gonna pull both of them, even though I was just training yesterday. Whatever,
That's the day.
There's several matches I've taken over my arm wrestling career that I shouldn't have agreed to, either because my elbow wasn't in the greatest shape, but how many of us do that?
Right.
Most of you complain though when you lose. I really don't do that because I knew going in that was a bad idea.
Yeah, you know what you're
I'm
gonna
just,
do.
I'm just that kind of guy that, if there's a little money there and I think I can win, let's do it.
Yeah.
I don't pretend like my wrists are busted up or whatever. I don't do that. But anyway, that was probably my worst day recently. I can't remember where that tournament was, though. I think it was in Tennessee.
Which one?
The one I was talking about, I pulled 3 classes, and see, they were supposed to do it, lightest to heaviest, like they always do. They did it heaviest, so I had to pull all the supers first.
Sounds Denise Wallace tournament.
And I'm like, yeah, if you show up and do that, they're going to do their best to screw you. You can bet that. I don't, whatever.
All right, Justin, before we wrap it up, do you want any lovely words and a message to Mindaugas?
I know a really good, some really good beard balm you need to try out, because this stuff just looks all patchy and you look like you're going through your second puberty. So hit me up. I got some recommendations for that. You need to lift more than those little shiny 5-pound weights you've been lifting lately. you need to lift some serious weight because you're not quite big enough. You need to gain some weight. Yeah, and you learn to use the TCH in the word that you called me, you know. Just do that for me. It's BITCH, not BICH. It's just, you know, you sound like you're trying to say the Bosch tool or something, you know. Just do that for me. I don't want to go too hard on you because you're a nice guy, kinda. But definitely, like, maybe go goatee, you know. You could go goatee, probably fit you. Yeah, that's about it though, yeah. Eat your Wheaties, little boy. How old is he? I feel like I got underwear older than him. You know what I mean? Like,
Man, that's some old underwear. Man, I get to say.
I own a washing machine.
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Jesse. We wish you all good luck, and everybody and me personally will see you back in 5 weeks, actually.
Right.
All right? So.